What up, what up, what up? What is happening, good people? Welcome to this edition of Herb and Two, alongside Tucson. My name is Herb Howard. Every Thursday and Saturday, thereabout, we are here hanging out with y'all, talking about issues that currently impact the black community. We talk about how those issues impact us as individuals, but also how they impact us as a collective. And along with your help, we talk through these issues in the hopes of finding the optimum solutions for how we can overcome said issues. Again, overcome them as individuals, but perhaps more importantly, overcome them as a collective. Thank y'all so very, very much for choosing to be a part of this conversation. As always, your input is valued. It is certainly appreciated. Anything you want to add to the conversation, feel free to do so. We will read through as many of your comments as possible. We would kindly request that you please take a quick second to share the video with anybody that you think would add value to or find value in this particular conversation. We think it's important. Clearly, you think it's important. Maybe somebody else will also. Be sure you hit the like button so we get your thumbs up notification. That would be great. Also, make sure you subscribe to the page and set the alert so you get reminders every time the page goes live. Again, this is Herb and Two. It is intellectual thuggery at its absolute finest. My name is Herb. His name is Two. Two. What's happening, good brother?
What's up, family? Blessed and highly favored. Tired of shit, though. I'm leaning and shit, talking into the mic. You know what I mean?
As you should be. But
I should just adjust it.
It picks up the sound quite well. You don't have to overdo it, man.
That's why That's why I guess I'm leaning.
It's a great
habit
mic.
with the mics in front of you. You know?
It's a great mic. It's a great mic. Don't worry about it.
It's kind of homosexual. It almost makes you feel reckless like this. I understand women for.
Why are you such a homophobic?
I'm not as homophobic. I just think it's.
Then why does everything scare you that you're gonna like? Who touched you?
It doesn't scare me at all.
I think somebody touched you.
I was looking at.
You want to talk about it?
I was looking at the pod the other day. Well, not the other day. I'm talking on the mic here.
Good. I hate him so much.
the one the clip went up. And I realized that it's just the era I'm from, and I don't adjust to people, right? Because we was talking about some shit he was wrong about.
Well, that's
as per usual.
It's a litany of
Look, she turned that mic on now.
It's a long list of things.
Unmute this mic.
Turn that mic on quick. No, we was talking about
when y'all got treated.
Actually, we didn't get treated. They're just fans. But anyway, what was the conversation?
The same dumb shit y'all always say about how men accidentally end up in relationships. All the men. And no man intentionally.
We didn't say none.
But the only part I'm saying that I could care less about that conversation. The point I'm making is that I was like, the dudes who paid thousands of dollars for you to be a matchmaker, they gay. All I meant was that they're weirdos.
They're lame.
That's it. They're just lame. But from my era, gay is the word.
Oh, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
and I peeped when you was like, they're weird. And I said I should have said that because the liberal community is going to be mad at me.
The what?
See what I'm saying? You like that? I was told that from a white boy. I thought that was awesome. That makes it more acceptable.
Oh.
Liberty de quoi?
Oh, my God.
That's funny. I don't care.
That's hilarious.
That's funny. It's a cool way to say it. I did freeze up. I had a gay conversation with some employers. Oh, it made me so uncomfortable, dog.
Oh, see?
They was introducing themselves. We on Zoom.
See, when white folks talk about money, then you get scared.
No. It wasn't even about money. It just It
was just gay talk.
We was on Zoom and it wasn't even gay talk yet. I just don't like this new world we're entering, right? So as they're introducing themselves, it's like, hi, I'm Karen. My pronouns are. I was like, oh, as soon as they said that, I got off my game.
Oh, that's common practice now.
I hate that shit.
I do too.
The kids got to do that at school. Like, they have to sign their papers with their pronouns.
Yeah, it's
fuck out of here, fam.
It's common practice. I think it's a little, whatever.
Yeah, I'm not accustomed to that. It fucked me up. I was all
so my generation was also, gay was just a way to describe anything you didn't like or anybody that you thought was, lame or whatever. You know what I'm saying? My generation was like that too, growing up. So it didn't matter what it was. It was like, you like these? No, that's gay.
That's gay.
No,
and you don't even mean
that. No, it has nothing to do with sexuality.
No,
you know what I'm saying? It doesn't even have to be a sexual topic.
It's not even a sexual topic. It's just get it gay. That's gay.
However, I've come to understand that's probably not best practice. It's just like we used to say retarded. I used to say everything was retarded. Everything was gay or retarded.
I say retarded still too. I get mad. I argue with my wife because she be trying to tell my kids not to say retarded. And I'm like, why not? That's the proper term.
It's no longer the proper term.
All this no longer the proper term.
It was never the proper term.
It's offensive.
Retard. Right. Retard just means different.
No, it doesn't.
It's a retardation in society. You have to be talking about people to say it's a retarded.
It means a deficit in development, like a slower developing. Like, that's a retardation.
Look, Google retard.
Delay or hold back in terms of progress.
I just fucking told you what it was. I just said that.
Fine. So retard is not a negative term.
I didn't say it was negative. I said it was inappropriate. It's like
why?
Because that's not usually what we meant when we said it was retarded.
What did it mean then?
Because we just meant it was like goofy or lame or
slow in developing.
I'm not saying it was always.
You haven't gotten here yet. You're retarded.
I'm not saying it was always inappropriate. I'm saying often it was inappropriate. It was just a term we used like.
How is it inappropriate?
It was a blanket statement for anything I disagree with.
To the people who have developmental disabilities.
Bruh, it was a blanket statement.
Wait. Hear my question.
Okay, you can't even hear my premise though.
Okay.
It was a blanket statement that we used for anything we disagreed with.
I still use it.
You like old girl over there. I don't like her. You're retarded. That's retarded. You like her? That's retarded. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's not
slow in developing because something's obviously wrong with her over there. Makes perfect sense to me.
No, bro.
So what's the right term for a person who has developmental disabilities?
That's retarded.
So what is this point? What's the point? I don't get it.
Well, you're saying that we didn't use
the term retarded
for actually developmentally inclined.
If I seen somebody who obviously had a developmental disability, and I said he's retarded, that's the wrong thing to do today.
Because the way
say?
Actually use it is for
he has a developmental disability
for stupid people.
Right, but also. It's not. See,
that was E. That wasn't even me.
No,
that was E. No.
Here's also why it's inappropriate, right? And how we use it wrong. We use it as an identity on the person. Like we place it on their identity. Like you're retarded. Like not like there's a retardation in your brain or like it would be like I don't know. Like you got like gout or some shit. And I'm like, oh, there's a little gouty over there. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's not.
I'd say that.
I know you would say it. That doesn't make it right, sir.
Man, I'm not changing none of my vocabulary to niggas outside the lexicon. Until we fix nigga, fuck them people.
Okay, fine.
All of them people.
But you still say nigga.
You're right. I'm an equal opportunist. So it's in the air. It's in the air.
It is what it is.
Hey, man. Weekend. I know we usually do weekend recap, but y'all got sidetracked.
You got sidetracked.
No, I was focused. But anyway, I was just trying to make a quick point.
I just asked a simple question to which you've never gotten around to.
Oh, what was
do you want to have? We're on the couch. We can talk about it.
What was that?
Who touched you?
A multitude of women. Free game. But anyway, man, I was with my cousin this weekend, man. He started his book tour.
That's what's up.
No, that's not what's up, but he started his book tour.
I know.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey.
Yeah, it's fucked up, man. Started his book tour, so I did that.
How long was the tour?
It's a 6-year book tour, man.
Oh, he goes international.
Yeah, this is a bestseller. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Got cut short a lot. It could have been a 30-year book tour. You know what I'm saying? But he cut the chapters down. You know what I'm saying?
So not a New York Times bestseller, but like a...
Yeah, it's a local store.
Maybe like a...
It's a local store.
What's the DC paper?
It's a book that they're going to turn into a Tubi movie. You know what I mean?
Hey, somebody mentioned you in these Tubi movies too. I was like, 2 likes those.
I love them. They're shit.
Nah.
You know? Then I seen E, man. I went to the Corey Holcomb shit. See E at the Corey Holcomb. She was hanging down the streets.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah, you did.
Mm-hmm. Okay, you outside.
Me and Tina.
Mm-hmm. Out there in the streets.
Yeah, Tina met a intentional man. You know what he said when he got off there?
You know what I was going to call that intentional man?
So when we get on the elevator.
What did he say?
He said, hey, y'all look good. Y'all single? Y'all looking for husbands? Because I'm looking for a wife.
Y'all are retarded. Y'all are retarded. There's a developmental disability in women.
They don't catch game.
They don't catch it.
We'll see. It's not wrong with it being game.
I'm sure you don't have to
Nothing
wait.
wrong with that being game.
So you think he really looked at y'all like, I'll marry one of them?
No, but he's clearly wants to date someone.
To be.
Every man that I've ever
clearly
met
wants to be
in the totality of my years on this planet that seeks out relationship with women has a developmental disability.
My father does not. Let's continue.
He clearly wants to be, and if a relationship comes thereafter, it was coincidental and a shock to him.
All right, it's not Relationship Friday.
No, it is no kind of. Anyway.
But that Corey Holcomb show.
You ain't like it?
I didn't even say that.
You can tell the truth.
It was all right.
Yeah, it wasn't funny.
Yeah.
Damn.
It wasn't funny.
Damn.
Very meh.
Yeah,
that's unfortunate, man. I felt the same way about Lil Rel's special.
The one you got in the front seat, that one back. Yeah. So the thing about Corey,
I feel like that's just about to come out though. Like the actual, I think it's about to come out.
The last Lil Rel I actually saw wasn't funny. Lil Rel is like Black Seinfeld, so it ain't like slapstick funny anyway.
Yeah, he's not all that funny to me.
Oh, we know.
Yeah.
But either way, Corey didn't really do comedy. He was just like the host.
Yeah, he brought it together.
Yeah, it was a lie. He marketed it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I didn't pay for it, so I could care less. But my point is,
some more got a special hour like right now like that, and it's called All the Queen's Men or something like that. Damon Williams is in it. Tony Schofield was in it. A couple other cats.
Yeah, but yeah, a lot. I guess there was local comedians and one dude from Detroit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all good.
It wasn't even local cats that I know either.
Speaking of people, what's up?
Oh, sorry, I was gonna say the Detroit guy I think is on the show Run the World. He had me. I don't know why that shit had me cracking up laughing. He about the only one that had me like.
Yeah, because he was the worst one. Yeah, I don't know what you got out of him. He was.
We
left when he got up there.
I was picturing what he was saying about the people with no. Like amputees and stuff. I don't know.
It's funny to laugh at him, but he's talking about retards. But I'm wrong.
I didn't say retards.
Why are they retards? Didn't we just define retards?
He was just talking about amputees. Okay. Retards too.
Right.
That's funny because Dave Chappelle, he's got his special. He's doing his tour right now. I think he's coming here soon.
He is.
I think he's
trying to plug us with that.
I think that'll be dope. I think it might be like the same one I just seen in Philly though. I'm assuming like that's a relatively. I know he's a genius. That's a relatively short time to put together another hour set. But I brought it up because in that set, Dave Chappelle was talking about like physically handicapped people. And I'm like, yeah, because he come out there and, everybody think I'm gonna talk about the gays. So as soon as he started the show, he like, I know y'all think I'm gonna talk about them people. All right, y'all want me to talk about them people? He's like, I'm not gonna talk about them people, I promise. He don't even say who, but everybody know what's up. Like, I'm gonna talk about the handicaps. And just proceeds to smoke them for a minute. But anyway,
they're trying to do like some kind of like private little after party type of deal with Dave.
So work on that.
I'll put a word in for us.
That'd be dope. Another thing, speaking of the comedians and the ones we like and don't like, but I don't like Rel like because of Rel
as a human. I just don't like T. Murph's comedy.
I can't even say I like him as a human. I don't know him that well. I don't like him for one interaction that I was like, you have me so fucked up.
I get it. I don't know T. Murph, but I'm not going to click on nothing T. Murph's on. He's lost that opportunity. He's lost me.
You bogus. Shout out to Murph, man. Anyway.
Shout out to Murph. Do better.
Murph is my man. Another one of the homies, man, before we go any further, I don't even want to say this shit, but rest in peace to Brian Jackson. A lot of people from around the city knew Brian Jackson. He went to Whitney Young. He was a personal trainer. Was doing his thing. Had a whole bunch of clients. Was working with Nike and shit. Just doing his thing. A lot of people just knew him and genuinely fucked with him. I don't want to go too much into the details, but he went out on a boat one evening last week and out on Lake Michigan, and he did not return. And so there's a lot of stories, a lot of this happened, they went like this and went like that. There's a lot of interesting characters involved in the story. I won't speculate on that at this time, but I will just say thoughts and prayers to his family, his children, and all his friends as well. We went to high school together. He was a year older than me. We both played football. So shout out to B-Jack, man.
Rest in peace to the homie. I don't know him, but rest in peace to him.
Rest in peace, good brother. A lot of things we need to get into on the show today on some of these topics, man. It's a lot that's been going on. I don't know where you want to start at, though, too.
He got a whole list. I want to start at InvestFest. That's not on the list.
Okay. It is on the list.
Oh, it's on the list. My bad.
Shit. Talk your that shit. She
okay, grandma.
Yo, here popping off. Momager is not going. Don't you ever put that smut on my name.
It's actually number 1 on the list.
I stay prepared.
Yeah. But I just, because it happened maybe 2 weeks ago now, I know we don't touch on it, we'll forget about it. But, you know, I've been pushing this narrative for as long as we've been doing this show, is that black capitalism won't save us, right? That we don't understand wealth. We don't really grasp the construct. You know, I've given out some actual numbers on the show that people think I'm bullshitting. The average net worth of black people in Boston is $8 compared to an average net worth of white people being $125,000. Mm-hmm. I'm saying average, mm-hmm. Right? The average net worth of black folks in Miami is like $11. The average net worth of black folks in in LA is $200.
People don't understand money enough to even grasp what you're saying, right? So you say something like that, it's like, average person walking around got $8, like, nah, that's just what their net worth is. You accumulate their debt versus their liquid versus their hard, like it's
you got $8,
yeah,
right? And
they could be walking around fresh as hell with a car and a chick and all that,
and be an $8 nigga.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that to shit on people. It's a reflection of the trajectory of just being black in America.
I am black in America,
right? So, but because we kind of get our self-esteem,
we're
trying to buy our value. All of us kind of play this game or present a role of we on top or we winning or we this, that, and third. I'd argue that most of the black billionaires that we think are billionaires aren't billionaires at all. I don't think Oprah was a billionaire. I don't think Ye was a billionaire. I think in context to how the system works, they show you that over time, right? Oprah couldn't maintain a fucking magazine because she doesn't have the capital. If she was a billionaire, she could have. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? That O is marketing. The white folks that own that company leverage her O to sell Oprah. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm worth X amount of billion. White folk made a call and that money was gone in 24 hours. Then that ain't your money then. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So we confuse the construct. But I look at shit like InvestFest, and I'm not specifically shitting on I don't even know the guy's name, because this is a whole genre, right? Gillian Wallow, every show they do a section in the show about somebody doing black business. None of this shit is black business, and it's a lie. It's a scam, and this shit is starting to irritate me because we're people is inundated in poverty.
You're selling hope.
And we got these hope dealers selling hope to the hopeless.
Poverty pimps.
Poverty pimping. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And we're such at the bottom, we're grasping at straws to try.
We want to believe it.
We want to believe
everything's a lottery ticket.
Everything's a fucking lottery ticket, man. But I watched the InvestFest clips. Of course, I would never go to no InvestFest. Not to say invest in a financial literacy or that world isn't relevant. It's absolutely relevant, right? But I've not seen, and I've paid attention. You know, I've seen some of their shows, and even the fact that they've had like certain people on is like amazing to me. Right? Because if you take the Steve Harveys and you separate the entertainment, and you might get homie from Morehouse, black dude, Rob, just paid for everybody's tuition.
Yeah.
Even him, right? He's
Robert Smith?
It was a Smith or Johnson. It's one of them.
Whatever.
My point is, he's even an anomaly, right? Even when you think about his story, he's like 5th, 6th generation college graduate. Think about a black man being 60 years old and can tap back 6 generations of college graduates.
That's bananas.
He might be of the 0.0001%.
To have your great-great-great-grandfather or grandmother have gone to college?
And you be 60 or 70 years old. You understand what I'm saying?
That's bananas.
He comes from something different. Point making is that his trajectory is different than the vast majority of black people who's in America.
Sure.
Right? Hence, that wealth that he's accumulated, some of it was passed down. Even if it's not the tangible wealth of actual capital. It's some tangible wealth of access or some tangible wealth of information, or right. He has a different trajectory of black people. Most of the wealth in America is transferred through death. It's not made. We're confused about this shit. 98% of the wealth is in the hands of white folks. 2%, the other 2% is split up between everybody else. So this hope to these hopeless people, these hope dealers selling this hope to these hopeless people it's laughable at some levels, but it's also disgusting at some levels. And when I saw the InvestFest clips, it bothered the shit out of me. One, my man, one of the hosts, one of the clips that's circulating in the net is him showing his pajama outfit with his $1,000 glasses and to match his pajama outfit, and his perpetual rolling, right? So he got maybe $40,000 worth of clothes on, right? Now let's think about some of the wealthiest people in America, the Warren Buffetts of the world, the Bill Gates, the businessmen of this world.
Sure.
Mark Zuckerberg lives in a home that's like $200,000. Here's a man worth
relative to his net worth. That's a closet.
I could wipe my ass with this money.
Right.
But they have a different understanding of money and value.
I saw a picture of Halle Berry today, and she was in Fashion Week or whatever the hell, and she was with Michael Kors. And, you know, she looked like Halle Berry, and Michael Kors got on whatever, but he had on some basic New Balance cross trainers.
And I'm not saying that's the definitive at all, right?
No, but it speaks to the mentality.
It speaks to the mentality, right?
Yeah.
So Warren Buffett, if you study Warren Buffett, another one of the wealthiest Americans, right? He lives in the home he first purchased for his family still today, right? His net worth is quadrupled 1,000 times, right? I think when they say when he bought the house, it might have been worth $100,000. Imagine Warren Buffett is 9,000 years old, so $100,000 house when he was first buying the house with his family, it's
probably like a $10 million crib.
You know what I'm saying? And the house today is worth something like $1.2 or $3 million. But it's a regular suburban kind of.
Sure.
It's not opulent at all.
Sure.
You know what I mean? I don't need 15 cars. I don't need da-da-da-da.
Shout out to 50 Cent. I saw him say something. They asked him about an $80 million crib. You seen that, Ron? He was talking about $80 million crib. He's like, I don't want an $80 million. He's like, I can't even imagine what you put in an $80 million crib to make it an $80 million crib. Like, I can't fill up an $80 million with what?
With
like,
what?
You know what I'm saying? Like,
but ego.
Right.
And that's really what they sell it, right? So then,
that's what it's always about.
But again,
give me a couple bowling
back
lanes,
just to the clips of Invest Fest.
Good.
The clips of Invest Fest. There's another clip circulating where they got people making it rain in the festival center.
Yeah.
The tickets to Invest Fest was $300 for the first day. This only gets you to the first day. Right. The second day is like a party and some other shit. From that point on, the tickets go up to like $1,800. Right. Now, just think about what I just said. What the net worth of black people is.
Right.
In some of them states.
But think of the great marketing that is, though. Right. I call it Invest Fest. Right. So you got to invest in your future. You got to invest in yourself. And once I do that, once I get you in that mind frame, I could charge $2,000 for the tickets because I done got you thinking this is an investment in your future.
It is. It's an invest in me.
But the idea is that you're going to come down here and network and rub shoulders with people who moving and shaking.
This $2,000 going to pay for itself by the end of the weekend.
Right. Conceptually, though, when we come from the levels of poverty that we come from, when I can say in Boston, the average black family is worth $8.
Right.
The median.
Right.
When I can say Miami, which is a hot spot for entertainment niggas, the average is $11.
Yeah, you ever been to Little Haiti?
I ain't been to Miami, right? But LA, another epicenter for entertainment, the average is $200.
Ever been to Jordan Downs?
So when we talking about Invest Fest, what nationality or what ethnicity do we think is going to be there? So back to their marketing. Who are they marketing this to? Think about Chicago, and most people don't even put this in context. Chicago has always been the epicenter of black business. Always, right? John Rogers, Ebony, all these are Chicago companies. You know, the Defender, no matter how people feel about it, these are Chicago companies, right? We live here.
What was the other hair company that was on 87th?
Dudley's and all that type of shit, right? But we live here. Most of us know that they might be 100 black people in the city of Chicago who really move and shake. It might be 100 that only halfway move and shake. It ain't a big community. You know what I mean? So when you think about you pulling that small network of people from city to city, right, and you're not getting those 100 of class-wise of people in Chicago. That you getting the level after and below that.
Even in Chicago, when you think like, I don't even know what they call it. You know, I always just say it's varying degrees of poor. But what would appear to be like that middle level of people that's kind of getting to it, and you know, they might have this car or that title or this crib. I go out, I see the same 50 people. Like it don't matter where I go.
It's not a big community at all.
If I get an invite from any one of them people, or I have something, it's gonna be the same 50 of them every single time.
Not shitting on none of us or putting our business out there, but we poor.
Yeah.
within the last year, we got to meet with Kamala Harris because the wealthiest black man in Chicago is the biggest donor to the Democratic Party. But I want you to think about this from a standpoint of access. We are actually acknowledging that we're poor. And we have the access to touch the wealthiest black Chicagoan. Think about that logically.
I say all the time. Like,
the room ain't that fucking big.
It's just not.
You know what I'm saying?
It's just not.
The room is not that fucking big.
I spent Sunday night with like 10 current and former Bears, just hanging out, drinking out of the hotel downtown, like talking about how bad they got their ass whooped. You know what I'm saying? Like it ain't that.
That's a representation that there really ain't no money in our community.
It ain't.
Right.
Fucking George McCaskey.
But what bothers me about the InvestFest shit, and I talked to somebody who actually went down there, and I couldn't believe she went down there. Deanna went down there. Shout out to D, man. She was like, that was some laughable shit. And D's much more proper than I am. So she was like, that was probably for somebody trying to start a business, not somebody who's operating in business. You know what I mean? But I push back even further, and it goes to the Gilly segments too. All the people they have on there, when you really think about it, what they're telling you is they can teach you how to do business in a space of business that they're not operating in. So I'm not a real estate guy, but I got a book to teach you how to do real estate. I'm not a real estate, it's a con. Right. You know what I mean? I'm gonna teach you bank fraud, because most of the shit they talk about is bank fraud. I know, because I know some bank fraud niggas.
They all through the city.
That's what they do.
Shout out to, I know you don't really acknowledge or respect white artists, but shout out to George Carlin, man. He's one of my favorite comedians of all time. He had a bit about that. He was like, can we just like accept the words that we've agreed upon? He's like, what's all this shit about self-help? I'm a self-help book. He's like, there's no fucking such thing as self-help. If I did it myself, I didn't need help. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he like,
wait. Why are you going to accept the words we'd agreed upon from George Carlin but can't accept it from me?
Because you misused them. He's making them clear. I'm saying, he's pointed out, everybody's misusing this fucking term. He's like, if you get somebody else to do it, somebody else's book, that's not self-help. That's help, motherfucker. Like,
so retard means developmentally disabled.
That means two.
I'm just asking questions here. I don't understand.
Yeah, it doesn't mean I don't like the same girl you like, so you're a retard.
Yeah. But anyway, man, we gotta stop doing that, y'all. We gotta stop doing that type of shit, man. Like,
yeah, we do.
We're moving into the fourth economic revolution, and it's already bad for us, right? We got this very savage nature. Everything we do is attached to the construct of money and having no understanding of money, right? We pick our mates based on money. Not knocking Jazz, the sister that we just had on the show, but I'm looking at that show. Yeah, love Jazz. Jazz has a beautiful aura, beautiful spirit, beautiful personality, great person. But me and you made a gesture like, she was like, I got people to spend thousands of dollars and
we
got private boats and private planes, which was a reflection of the value set of the people who move like that. To even say that out loud.
Right.
You know what I
mean? To combat what we were talking about, that'd be like their trump card, and they'd be like, yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. Like, you think that's your trump card, and I'm saying that's the problem. Like, it's an issue that we have. I think that anytime you're dealing with a situation where we are so willing to jump into a game that we don't really have no knowledge of, no experience with, that's crazy. We wouldn't do that in any others. If we went outside and P.I. was like, yo, let's play skibbity ball in the yard. I'm like, okay, well, what the fuck is skibbity ball and how do you fucking play it? We just jumped dead in, like, with no understanding.
Get $1 for playing and then be like,
yeah, like,
show you how to play skibbity ball.
It's crazy.
Yeah, but our whole value system can't be predicated on that shit, man. But and I guess at some levels, what really bothers me about InvestFest is exactly what you said, right? It's like it's the victim mentalities that we have because we such in a fucked up position.
And what's crazy about that is it's a vicious cycle that says, okay, so now that they didn't got X amount of hundreds or thousands, how many people they got to come to the thing and pay somewhere between, 300 and 2,000 to come to it. Now they put on a successful event because they got money. So now they gonna look like this and talk like this and appear like this, and then it looks like they must know what they're doing. They know what they're doing in terms of pimping your ass.
They can sell a party.
Right.
They sell the shit out of a party. And we buy the shit out of a party.
Hey, the promoters in this city is the coolest niggas out.
$2,000 to party with Ja Rule.
Shout out to all the promoters. You know he's doing that again?
The
dude who ran that scheme,
Billy.
He's doing it again.
I know.
He's running a bike.
Yeah.
And I think he's going to sell more tickets. Like, I think he's going to sell it again.
But he's going to do it right, and he's going to get sponsors because he's proved that he can sell a product. He can sell no product, actually. He proved that he can sell no product.
That man is amazing. I hope he dupes them again because I heard he's already got like 1,500 people that bought tickets.
Is he amazing or he just really duplicating what niggas do? Because this is what Rashad and them is doing too. You know what I mean?
I agree. I don't think they're not amazing. I think we foolish.
I don't think they're amazing though, right? And I'm saying that in this context, like back to it's not them that I'm mad at per se, but it's the people who buy into it. But it's very easy to take advantage of a motherfucker who's in a position to be taken advantage of. No. Right? It takes much more restraint to not do it. You know what I mean? That's so true. We got to stop championing the motherfucker that goes up, beats the kid in one-on-one and think he can hoop.
That's true.
You beat the kid.
That's true. Listen, man, I gotta let y'all know about fundraising that's going on. We've touched on the topic a little bit about some of the things that Erica and her family have been dealing with. And what are you doing?
They can't.
Distracting me.
This is definitely serious. I never even seen that one. That's some ancient people shit. My grandma ain't even had that one.
Shit.
Go ahead.
We talked about some of the things that Erica and her family have been dealing with. Had a tragic loss of death due to gun violence.
So he will persevere. So I want everybody to just pray for him, pray for 100% recovery, pray for his mental stability, his physical strength.
A community putting its arms around one of their own in the wake of tragedy.
It all started after shots rang out at a funeral on the south side.
Tonight, Nate has an update with the family of the man who was shot, and he joins us live. Nate.
Yeah, that's right. I'm Dawn and Scott. The victim here is being described as a role model and youth mentor. In fact, right now he still remains in the hospital recovering from his wounds. Now, first take a look at your screen. This is 38-year-old Brandon Bradbury, an athlete and avid climber. In fact, Bradbury had been gym manager here at Block 37's First Ascent since it opened in 2018. He's trained thousands of climbers and runs their Reach program, which offers free climbing classes to underprivileged youth. His boss says everyone knows him and is rallying behind his family, hoping for a full recovery.
Everyone's heartbroken, that it happened, but everyone's also just showing up with immense support, which is such a beautiful thing to watch. Brandon really worked to cultivate the community here. He's introduced so many people to climbing. He's created this sense of belonging and support for so many. And now it's really beautiful to watch that community turn around and wrap their arms of support around him.
Bradbury was shot outside Leak & Sons Funeral Home, 78th and Cottage, August 16th. He was attending his own nephew's funeral, who was also a gunshot victim. Even with police on scene, gunfire erupted as loved ones left the service heading to their vehicles. Police say the gunman was inside one car before approaching the area and firing several rounds. Detectives found more than 40 shell casings littered in the street. The father of two was struck 3 times in the head, neck, and face. His younger sister Erica here describing the chaos following that service.
All of a sudden we heard all this ruckus and people screaming that they were shooting. So we started, it's chaos in the funeral. We thought that people were inside of the funeral home. So we're jumping under the pews and everything like that. Very traumatizing. And then my sister was like, they shot my brother. Thankfully, they were able to, save him.
Now, the family says Bradbury has undergone various surgeries and will soon begin intense rehabilitation. The family has created a GoFundMe account to assist with medical expenses as well as some housing modifications that will be needed. First Ascent is also going to be hosting 2 fundraisers next month to assist with those expenses. For more details on those events, as well as the GoFundMe for Bradbury, you can go to our website at fox32chicago.com. Reporting live downtown, I'm Nate Rogers. Back to you in the studio.
All right, Nate, thank you.
And then at the homegoing for that death, there was another act of gun violence that has left Erica's brother literally fighting for his life. And I know he's going to pull through because I know him and he's a fucking superhero. But pull through or not, he is facing a long road forward. to full recovery. And as those medical bills, both the current ones, but also the rehab that I'm speaking to existence, because like I said, I know he gonna be, he gonna be okay, but that shit costs. And so we trying to find different ways to raise some funds for that. And so one of the things that's going on is a bake sale.
Yeah. So on the 15th, so my brother is a part of the climate community. Actually, this is like his third time that he's experienced something that's like life.
Yeah, climbing, like
changing,
he climbed mountains and shit because he's crazy.
Yeah, he started climbing actually after he was stabbed and lost all feeling in his arm. They tried to amputate his arm. He told them no. They said it's just gonna be sitting there. Told them no. Started climbing.
I want to be clear on a couple things, right? We talk about him being victim of gun violence. Now we talk about him being a stabbing victim. It's easy to jump to, well, he must just be out here wilding in the shit. He's not that dude.
Yeah.
Like, he's not. I've told stories about my own little cousin dying, and I've told y'all he was with the shit, and shit come with that. This ain't Brandon. He ain't with none of that shit. Shit just.
He's not that, and he was actually covering a woman, so he was saving someone else. Is how he got shot.
Right.
And but he's part of the climate community, so First Ascent. So what they're doing is one is going to be a bake sale on the 15th, so Friday, September 15th, a silent auction and a bake sale, and then the following Friday, September 22nd, at the First Ascent, where he manages in Block 37. Is doing a bouldering competition, so it's bouldering for Brandon.
I don't know what that means. Have a big ass rock.
Me either.
It's rock climbing, but without the hooks and things like that.
Also, free climbing.
Like free climbing, but it's not really tall. It's not. I do it all the time, So.
First of all, I think you're capping. That's number one. Let me be very clear. I think you're capping.
Why she eats
I'm gonna put in the pictures for myself.
So you know how we just define retard for
gravity and
define retard for him? Define all the time. Once. Okay, go.
Then you had a climbing with the ropes, but then the bouldering is when you kind of just like free climbing pretty much. But at Block 37, they're not super duper high, so anybody could do it. So definitely come out. All of the proceeds from both of these events are going to go to him, to his recovery rehab. He is going to be going to rehab, so he's ready. So we'll insert the images and everything in the news clip.
Cool.
Yeah,
support.
Come out.
Shout out to everybody who has been supporting. Shout out to everybody who sent a thought, a prayer, a text message. Continue to do those things. Those are important as well. But again, as these expenses begin to stack up, it's going to take a little bit of some support. So please consider helping Brandon out on this journey back to recovery. What's the next topic, E? Where we at?
So we're talking about how people should be humble, but I guess we can really go and talk about the man who protects the woman by punching the man off the bus, and then that brick incident being fake.
Yeah, let's go with that one.
And we gotta talk about Lil Reese goofy ass.
Are those relationship Friday conversations? I mean, can they be?
They can be, but I just feel like, why you talking about the poverty pimping shit? I think, because this don't gotta be a long conversation. I don't have much to say about her goofy ass. We talked about it already. But the fake brick shorty, like, we talked about it at first. It was like, damn, that's fucked up. She got hit with a brick. Brother should have did something. Then another video comes out where she was around there smacking men in the face and going crazy and twerking and laughing about it. Then the ultimate truth comes out that she never got hit with a brick at all, and she's more likely dealing with an allergic reaction to something. All this after she's collected $40,000 in a GoFundMe for the poverty pimping that she did, exploiting this narrative to denigrate black men, and black men ain't shit, and black men don't protect black women, and she got 40 bands off of it.
What was she collecting money for?
It's a sad story. This man hit me with the brick, and I gotta get reconstructive face surgery and that kind of shit.
Oh, like hospital bills and stuff. Oh.
Like goofy shit. You know what I'm saying?
Or just being in the public. Tyrone Muhammad got like 50,000 throwing bricks through a window.
That's true.
So this girl, she lied and said that black men specifically didn't help her.
Yeah, because it was a video, and there were black men there, and so her face was all distorted.
And now she wasn't ever even hit with a brick. Is what y'all telling me?
That's the story. A lot of medical experts are saying it's more likely an allergic reaction. It doesn't look consistent with somebody being hit with a brick.
So no one saw her get hit with a brick?
Nobody ever said that
She
except
just
her.
lied and
then she's like, these brothers didn't do nothing. But none of them ever said, like, yeah, we saw her get hit with a brick. We just didn't want to do nothing. That didn't happen. You know what I'm saying?
So there was another video
of
another dude that said, I saw her get hit with a brick. But we had conflicting stories between you and I as well. You said it happened in Texas. I was getting immigrant.
I mean, that's just the story. It said it happened in Houston.
Yeah, so I wasn't even getting that energy. And maybe it is Houston because Houston's very country and rural in some places, right? And it looked like that kind of. For me, I saw Africa. That was the first thing I saw when I saw the background. I'm not even being funny. Like it was like a dirt road kind of deal. And the dude who was talking definitely had an accent. Could have been from a different country. Sure. Could have been an immigrant to this country. Sure. I don't know. Sure. But I didn't get America. Even her
got some African features.
Her whole look isn't even American. In my opinion.
For sure. It just, it said the story wasn't Houston, but man. My thing is, man, in this day and age where people can come up with all these different types of things, it's just like.
What is her goal with that? Y'all think her
40
goal
bands.
is the money or to, perpetuate this narrative with black?
No, I think you just use the narrative.
You just crazy.
You just use the narrative.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if everybody already believes black men ain't shit and don't protect black women, then I got hit with a brick and no black men did shit. All right, and then black women, as a collective, not as each individual, but as a collective, largely perpetuate this narrative. Even though we've discussed many a time on this show, that's not their personal experience. They've all be like, nah, my brothers will pull up right now. My daddy will send this bitch up. My man will go crazy about me. Cool, then, which black men are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? But they perpetuate the narrative nonetheless.
I've said before that black people are the moral compass of America. They've always been the moral compass of America because we don't have anything else. All we have is morality. So all we really have to negotiate in the legislature. I just gave us the numbers, right? I don't give a fuck how much stunting you do. In reality, you're worth $8. You can't move beyond your $8 limit. I don't care fuck what it look like. You can't move past your $11 limit. You can't move past your $200 limit. So your negotiation is a negotiation of morality. That's all you got. That's all you got. So you got to be a good person, at least to the people in your circle, right? Hence why gang violence is what it is, or tribalism is what it is. I got to be this nigga for my group. I got to stand up for this because this is all I got to negotiate. That's it. That's all we ever had. You know what I mean? So in that vein, there's new narratives being shaped in our faces, right? Just like I could say about the investment or it's only 100 black people in Chicago that got money or wherever we go. But then we think about the conversations in our community, how narratives take on their own shape. The narrative of the black villain or the black man monster is an easy narrative to sell. It's always been an easy narrative to sell.
It was pre-painted for you.
Yeah, it's the only narrative we've ever had on this soil. It's the only narrative we own, right? So when she gets on, even, Cameron saying, hey, he hit me with a brick and didn't know black men do nothing to help. You slapped the white man, he was there too. He ain't help your ass either. But you didn't even mention him because I don't expect a white man to help me. Why not? You a woman, he a man, if that's the argument you're going with.
Right.
You know what I mean? But that part of the narrative never surfaced. Then we know for a fact she slapped the shit out of her. White man. So we knew it was white man there.
Or Latino man, something.
Right? But you can't sell that narrative. Nobody's buying into that narrative.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's easy to demonize a black dude.
Yeah,
Why are we so okay with pushing this narrative as a people? So even aside from, and this is not making it a black woman or a black male thing, but a black people thing. So then we're talking about as a collective. So we're talking about even when with the, like I said, Lil Reese or whatever, mistreating the unhoused and pouring water on them or laughing at it and recording it or whatever, but then turning around and, passing out money now to try to redeem himself. This woman, pushing a narrative that she was hit with a brick and was not protected by black men, whatever the case may be, but this just negative, continual, negative view of like black people. What is it? We hate ourselves. Like, what is it? What is that about?
So for me, it's a few things. I don't want to dismiss the fact that we hate ourselves because that's part of it for me. right? But I think it's a larger conversation. I don't think community exists in America at all. I think we are self-driven, selfish. I think we have this concept of rugged
Except with immigrants. It don't exist with white people and black people.
No, I think the same thing with immigrants too. It's just different levels of the game, right? I think the very essence of this country teaches you a level of rugged individualism, and it makes you a savage, right? It makes you a mercenary for the money.
That's the American dream.
It's the American way.
I can become whatever I want. It have nothing to do with the collective.
Fuck the collective.
You can come here and you can be whatever you want to be.
That's it.
It ain't an us thing.
It's about me. It ain't about an us thing. And that me thing, or that us doesn't even really travel through the household no more, let alone the community. I don't give a fuck about my child. I don't give a fuck about my mate. I really don't. We could pretend we do, but and it looks a certain way. But if you go home and your child is being raised by the iPad while you in the room with the headphones on, or if your child is being raised by the iPad and you in front of the gaming system, you really ain't making no investment. It's not. It's about me.
Right.
You know what I mean? But we have this very mercenary, selfish personality, and in that rugged individual system, it's like, what can I do? You become a savage to get to whatever that goal is for me, or even if it's just to make me feel better. The little Reese shit, right? I feel bad about me. Who's more fucked up than me? Let me make them suffer some more. You know what I mean? And it'll boost my morale about how I feel about myself. You know what I mean? Back to us being the moral compass of America. We've lost our way because we fully bought into the concept of capital creates our value, right? We chase money. We chase, even back to the matchmaker conversation, or the right car conversation, or the wrong car conversation, right? We all got on this fucking mask to find acceptance because it's the love that we all missing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we'll do anything to feel acceptance because ain't none of us getting loved. Because love is a premium in this motherfucker. It's rare to find it if it ever you find it. There's an argument that says less than 4% of Americans ever find love. There's another argument that says if genuine love exists, it could change the vibration from one person. If one person innately operates in the space of pure genuine love, he can change the energy up to 12 miles away from him. Just this one motherfucker emanating at this energy. We ain't there. I'd say all the time we can look in the faces of the people in our community and see the depression.
I think that's facts. I think that anytime you talk about, like, no knock to the one I had, but I didn't have that kind of grandmother. But I've heard and seen and witnessed people like, I just got to go see my grandmama. You know what I'm saying? I just got and you go there, and you get a hug, or you get a plate, or you get a few words, or whatever the fuck it is, and motherfuckers leave their grandmama house completely different than they walked in.
I was in college, man. My grandmother turned 80, and we had an 80th birthday party for her, and it just happens to fall on homecoming. We know what homecoming is in college. And my people was like, you going home for homecoming for your grandmama's birthday? They looking at me like I was crazy.
They're
like,
crazy.
Yeah, motherfucker. But
perhaps they also didn't, they might have had more of a grandma situation like I did.
But again, that's how rare the energy is.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's how rare it is, bro.
But it is that powerful. It does have that ability to alter one's spirit, one's energy, one's actions, one's outcomes. And so I can't dismiss that 12 mile theory offhand at all. To put up on the black man power protecting conversation, there was a video that came out on the bus here in Chicago, right? Yeah, and there was a woman being verbally assaulted, a black woman being verbally assaulted by Latino dude.
Venezuelan.
Yeah, and he's verbally assaulting her and aggressively approaching her. She pulls out her gun, and you could tell just by the way she was holding it, she can handle this. You know what I'm saying? It's a arrested weapon, and she can handle it. She knows what she's doing with it, right? And so she like, back up. And before she's forced to do something that she clearly didn't want to do, right? A black man came up, fired the dude, bop, clinked them up.
Off the bus.
2-3 pieced them to the front of the bus, then pieced them off the bus.
Yeah, that was the part of it that was amazing. He got pieced off the bus. Homie never touched him outside of punching him.
Nah, he bink.
Yeah.
off the bus.
That was.
And then what I liked about it was at the end. Dude got back on the bus like, man, come on, let's go, man. We know this shit. Because my was telling dude like, just get off the bus. And then, dude, all right, you know what? Mop. Make sure he's off the bus. He got back. Come on, man, let's go. We gone. Shout out to the homie for having us back like that. It's late at night in Chicago. Motherfuckers coming home from work. Ain't nobody playing with you, boy. You hold up this bus for any reason, anybody liable to fuck you up. But shout out to dude, man, whoever the brother is, for being who you are, man, showing up that way.
And then people were in the comments condemning him for now he took it too far.
What he do? He
took it too far because he kicked him, spit on him off the bus, and all type of stuff like that. People, but like,
no, he ain't take it too far.
Which one? It can't be both. I can't have both.
High key, he saved his life. I just showed you. Shorty was going to blow his ass down on the bus.
I don't know if I agree with y'all. And I'm only saying it in this context, right? Like, if you think about like a fight, like I grew up fighting, fist fighting.
Yeah.
Right? How I would fight my partners versus how if it was some random shit going on, there's a very different energy.
Different.
Right? And I ain't lose too many fights. The only nigga that could really whoop me in the hood was Fonz.
Mm-hmm.
But outside of that, I could probably whoop most of the niggas in the neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But once I got your ass up off me or you done fell to the ground, I'm not stumping you out.
Right.
That's some savage
That's a different mentality.
Energy, right? And the only reason it happens like that with niggas who we didn't know is because you don't know what extent they gonna go to. So you got to end it.
You got to stop.
You got to stop.
Right.
But what I'm saying is that also emanates in the sickness of our society, right? Again, violence is innate in the American nature, and violence is innate in human, right? But the savagery that we move with is not innate.
No, it's different.
It's very different.
That's some learned shit.
And it's learned. And because we from Chicago, shit happens over, like, again, I'm from a different generation. You can see this shit happen over time. But I say this too, like a lot of other places that I've been talk that tough Tony shit, and they don't really move like we move. So when you see certain shit, it don't really play out like how it plays out here. You know what I mean?
Nah, it's 100% different, man. I can remember having a fight with my brother Matt at like 3 a.m. at Hayes on 63rd and Lakeshore Drive. We went to Hayes because we had been arguing all fucking day, and we just needed to go settle athletic beef that we were having. And so we went to Hayes at like 3 a.m. to go play one-on-one. And it happened to be some of my cousins was there, my other brothers was there, some girls was over there. So we go like 3-4 cars to Hayes at this like hour in the morning. Play the one-on-one, end up in a fight. My point is, we throw punches, we both come home with black eyes, but the fight ended with nobody broke it up. We was both just like, nigga, you done?
Ready?
We good? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, and we was done. And I juxtaposed that to one of the more gory experiences I've had. And I mean, which is crazy to me because I feel like I've seen so much wilder shit, but this was just something that in the moment just caught me like, this has to stop. And the irony of it was it started with me. It was at a little ass club over on fucking Ashland. And I told y'all before, we used to go out hella fucking deep. But I was always the youngest nigga, so they always looked at me like, they looked out for me. I wasn't even supposed to be in these places anyway, just off my age, but they always like super looked out for me. Anyway, we come in that motherfucker, and it's a nigga coming out, he drunk as hell. Now, I got this shorty with me, and I just met her that day at the barbershop. My brother Darius was getting his hair braided. And we went to the barbershop, I got my hair cut, and it was a girl that braided hair in the back. And so she braiding his hair up, and I started talking to her, get her number, whatever. I'm like, you come out with us tonight. So she come out with us, met her that day. Nigga come out the club, he smacked, right? He super sloppy drunk, and he tried to holler at her. And she ain't going. You know me, I ain't pressed about that. I just met her 2 days, like literally. And so, anyway, she like, nah, I'm straight. Dude keep trying to press her, then she finally she like, nah, I'm with him. So this nigga, he probably like, looking back on it, he's probably like 30, you know what I'm saying, 35, something at the time. I'm literally like 16, maybe 17. And he look at me and he like, look me up and down, like, man, fuck that nigga. So I'm like, who you talking to? He like, man, fuck you. So I'm like, I told him, I tapped him on his chest and I whispered to him like, hey, bro, go the fuck home before you can't. Like, just take your drunk ass home before you can't go home. So now he louder than that. Man, fuck you, I'll whoop your ass. Cool. Now you talking too loud. Now my niggas done heard. He like, who is that? Who they talking to? They see that these niggas stumped this man out in the middle of Ashland so fucking bad. Pounded him out on the concrete. He get a quick second to try to get up and try to run. Then trip over the little median in Ashland. He's in the middle of the street and there's 40 Timberlands on his motherfucking face. And I'm like, y'all stop. Like, stop doing, y'all gonna stump him to death out here. Like, just fucking stop this shit. You know what I'm saying? Because to your point, like, you asked your ass to get whooped. I tried to send you home. I know how this movie ends. Like, we fight every time we come outside. Like, I know how this movie gonna end. Just take your drunk ass home. But he got his ass stumped out so bad. It's like, ooh, I don't even want to see that. I ain't even want to see it. It's like, you talking shit to me and I still didn't want to fucking see it. They stumped his ass down the street. We went back in the club. I never threw a single punch or a kick. Like, didn't have to. You know what I'm saying? It's like, some of this shit, you just part of growing up in Chicago is like, man, like, read the fuck Lex. You know what I'm saying? Different fucking experience, man. What'd you say Reese did to them people before we get out of here?
Just being an idiot, basically. He basically
the Chicago happenings.
Shamed.
How old is Chicago happenings?
Yeah, shamed. Like, I think somebody was pouring water on like some homeless people, unhoused, as you call them. That's the new term
right.
too.
They're still homeless to me.
That's the new term. And he pretty much he was recording it, laughing and everything, and then basically after everybody got in his ass, he was passing money out. That's all. Being an idiot.
And I ain't gonna dwell on this point, but you can see it in every generation. We get more and more disconnected from humanity.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I think about the homeless people in my community. They was legitimately part of my community. You know what I'm saying? Like, we know their names. You know what I'm saying? We was like other homeless people.
We played with them, but they was our people though.
Other homeless people couldn't come and beg in our community. Yeah. You ain't our homeless. You somebody else homeless.
Let me wash your car. Hell no.
No.
Ricky washed my motherfucking car. Everybody know that. You know what I'm saying?
And even that was shitty, right? The way we engaged, it wasn't the most morally stable way to engage.
You make them dance in the street for
we
a
ain't
few
gonna let
dollars.
nobody whoop on their ass. We definitely wasn't
them.
whooping on their ass. So, you know what I mean? It wasn't that kind of move.
Everybody understand that. Queen, shout out to Queen Clucker, man. She was, she the queen.
Yeah, but you see, with every generation, we get more and more savage, more and more disconnected, right? I've said it last week, man. The child is not embraced by the warmth of the village will burn it down to fill it. You know what I mean?
No doubt about it. That type of humanity is necessary, man. No matter what level you on, man. I remember bringing Queen Clucker. I saw her on 95th one time. Like, what the fuck are you doing on 95th? It was late at night. I was coming home. She on 95th and Stony. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing down here? Yeah, like, get the fuck in the car, man. Like, your ass supposed to be way down here. Like, anyway.
Fucking humanity, man.
We gotta go, man. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. As always, your input was valued. It was certainly appreciated. Please.
And shout out to Shadua Sanders, man.
Shout out to Shadua Sanders. Shout out to Prime.
I ain't shouting out Prime, but I'm shouting out Shadua, G. I'm standing on my shit with Prime still. I'm not standing on it with Shadua because I think it's a different perspective.
Yeah. What is he gonna do? Stay there when his day left?
Yeah, and it ain't even that. His first goddamn press conference, he gets on the conversation and he says, man, this ain't no more competition in the HBCU. You know what I mean? Like, his first statement was, let me identify and be clear that y'all ain't better. Y'all ain't that. And he proving that he can whoop y'all ass every week. I don't have that same respect for Prime. Not what he's doing isn't amazing. I'm just standing on what I stood on with about the Jackson State statement that I made. Yeah. You're already at where you're trying to get to. And I view that in it. It's a complicated thing. And he is saying don't get into it. She's giving us the momager move.
I just want to say.
No, because we're scheduled for live already.
I just want to say that I feel you, and I just feel like Prime is also doing. Cause I'm mad at him too, right, for leaving, and I thought he could have did I thought he could have changed the landscape of college football at Jackson State. But to your point about what Shador said, I think that he's still serving a purpose to say y'all ain't better. You know what I'm saying? Y'all, we can come here and do that shit too. And to some of that, I'm still rooting for him. We gotta go.
Yeah, he wants us to get out of here. I disagree, but I'm not gonna say nothing about it. So we gotta go. Peace.
For P.I., for Ron, for Momager.
Momager.
That's two. My name is Herb. Y'all be good to each other.
Salam alaikum.
Peace.
She'll just like, God damn.
So irritated.